you can't fire the owner because
Nope.
he can't fire himself. Someone's head's going to roll, unfortunately, in this situation. And it's probably Stefanski and Barry.
I saw on The Athletic.
I don't think that's fair, by the way. Stefanski, that part.
I agree. I was saying the other day on my podcast that Barry should be fired, and I said I wouldn't fire Stefanski, but a couple of people made the point of saying, well, if you fire the GM, you got to give him a chance to hire his own coach, which is fair.
That's true.
So I would fire Barry. I would hire a new GM. If that GM thinks Kevin Stefanski's a good coach, wants to stick with him, that's fine.
The NFL drama just turned into a full-blown soap opera, and this ain't no Netflix script. Word is, Andrew Barry is ready to toss Coach Stefanski out the door like last week's garbage if he doesn't pass the keys straight to Shader Sanders. Imagine that. Cleveland really thinking about risking the whole season just to make a quarterback switch. It's wild beyond belief. Even reality show producers would shake their heads and call it too much. This saga makes The Bachelor look like a quiet church picnic compared to the madness about to unfold.
I think it's unfair for me to comment in I guess maybe on behalf of the industry. All I can say is this, the time that we spent with Shedeur, and what he's done throughout his college career is impressive. He's an impressive young man. He's a really good quarterback. Sometimes, fit comes into play. And I'd also say this, there are 4 more rounds of the draft. And then maybe lastly, it's less about where you get picked and what you do after you get picked. That's really the most important thing. Getting to know him over the course of the spring, he has a ton of resolve, and I think he's going to find himself in a.
The audacity here is crazy. Andrew Barry looks like he's hit his breaking point, and honestly, can you even blame him? Fans are losing their minds, begging to see Shadur Sanders take the field like it's the second coming of a franchise savior. Barry's pacing around his office like he's trapped in some high-stakes hostage deal, sweating every second. Meanwhile, Coach Stefanski acting like Shadur is some forbidden fruit that nobody's supposed to touch. The tension is so thick you could slice it with one of those flimsy plastic butter knives straight from the concession stand.
Stefanski has the 4th highest odds of any head coach this season to be fired. He's clearly on the hot seat. It's been a discussion for really a couple years now, dating back to last season's 3-win season. And he's always had kind of hot and cold seasons. And now the sportsbooks are saying he's 4th on the list. Number 1 is Mike McDaniel of the Miami Dolphins, Brian Daboll of the Giants at 2, Shane Steichen at 3, and there is Kevin Stefanski plus 650 to be fired this season.
But this ain't just about tension anymore. This is pure stubbornness on full display. Instead of rolling out the guy everyone's been dying to see, they went with Dillon Gabriel. Dillon Gabriel! The depth chart looks less like a football strategy and more like some twisted prank show. Picture this. A fan base begging for a juicy steak, and the Browns serve up canned tuna instead. Not even the good kind, but that dry stuff that clings to the roof of your mouth and makes you regret every bite. That's exactly where Cleveland is stuck right now.
Talk to me about Shadur Sanders now being the 3rd-string quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Was that so much was made out of unbelievable? He actually made the team as the 3rd-string quarterback. Like that was a big deal. Like that was somewhat of a surprise to a lot of people. He should have been the 1st pick in the draft. Surprised that he made the roster?
It's almost laughable how Stefanski keeps doubling down just to flex like he's the smartest dude in the building. Fans chanting Shadur's name, rocking his jerseys, even photoshopping him into Browns highlight reels like he's already the hero of the franchise. And what does Stefanski do? He throws Dillon Gabriel out there looking like the substitute teacher nobody ever asked for. It's such a petty power move, it's almost impressive. The fans could storm the field with torches and pitchforks, and Stefanski would still shrug like, nah, we rolling with Gabriel again.
But yeah, the Browns are in a tough spot. They have wasted. You traded a ton of high draft capital to get Deshaun Watson. You've gotten nothing out of Deshaun Watson and missed an opportunity. Like, who knows who they would have drafted. Now, maybe they would have screwed up those picks and the Browns would still be in bad shape. But as they've done many times before, but who knows what they could have hit on. If Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are truly on the hot seat and they have to make decisions to get this team as good as possible this year, that would be potentially counterproductive to the long-term health of the organization.
You got to wonder what runs through Barry's head every time he watches Gabriel toss another check down like it's a hot potato. Probably something like, "This the hill my coach really choosing to die on?" Gabriel over Sanders, the human highlight reel just rotting on the bench, while the offense crawls like it's stuck knee-deep in a mud pit. If Barry's hair wasn't already thinning from stress, this quarterback mess is finishing the job for sure. And the fans, they ain't even subtle no more. Every weak drive is another dagger to their patience. Every 3 and out feels like a slap in the face. The more Gabriel plays, the more the crowd paints Stefanski as the villain in some badly written superhero flick. And it's not just that he's standing behind Gabriel, it's the way he's doing it, almost like he's deliberately trolling the fan base. It's like keeping a Ferrari locked in the garage while swearing the old family station wagon is perfect for drag racing. At a certain point, people stop asking logical questions and start whispering about some hidden bet. Maybe Stefanski cut some secret deal with Gabriel's family, promising him starts as long as he's holding the clipboard as head coach.
Kind of crazy if you think about it, but I honestly see it happening if the Browns lose a bunch of games. Like if they get 5 wins or less, I see the report coming out now that Stefanski will be fired. I don't want it to happen. I want the Browns to be good, win a bunch of games. I think that they're going to be a team that is slept on and can at least get 7 wins, which is why if they don't, I see Stefanski getting all the blame for that, and there'll be a new coach in Cleveland. Because their players, to me, are there once again. We've talked about the incredible rookie class that Cleveland has.
This whole saga feels like a sitcom written by somebody who completely forgot about continuity. 1 week, Barry is making it crystal clear. He wants Shedeur on that field. No debate about it. Then the very next week, it's Gabriel jogging out like this is some low-budget audition for a Broadway play instead of a real NFL season. And through it all, Stefanski just shrugs, acting like his job security isn't hanging by a single frayed thread, ready to snap at any second. The fans came for fireworks, but all they're getting are damp sparklers that won't even light. Cleveland is begging for a quarterback who can command attention, light up the scoreboard, and finally give the city something more than heartbreak to rally behind. Instead, they're stuck with Gabriel tossing little checkdowns like he's trying to win a stuffed animal at a carnival booth. You can't even script this type of disappointment. It plays out on its own every single Sunday.
Obviously, the NFL tried to teach him and his father a lesson. You don't act like that. You don't talk like that before a draft. We'll show you how our game is played. We will watch you plummet all the way. I think he would have gone undrafted except for that owner in Cleveland. And he is the key to everything because he is something of an against-the-grain maverick owner. He's kind of a wannabe Jerry. And especially with quarterbacks, see Deshaun Watson, he'll just crazy plunge.
It's gotten so messy that fans are straight up diving into conspiracy mode now. Some swear Stefanski just doesn't like Shedeur, period. Others think he's babying Gabriel like a mama bird guarding her last fragile chick. And the wildest theory of all, that Stefanski's sabotaging the squad on purpose just so he can bounce out of Cleveland with a fat buyout check in his pocket. Whatever the truth is, one thing's obvious. The man is playing a reckless game with both his boss and the mob of furious fans outside his metaphorical castle gates. The pressure cooker is whistling loud, and Barry's patience is drying up faster than water on hot asphalt. Fans aren't politely asking anymore. They're demanding blood. Barry's basically holding the nuclear codes, and Stefanski looks bold enough to dare him to push the button. The chants are shaking the stadium. Jerseys are flying off shelves. Highlight reels are being shared like political campaign ads, and through it all, Gabriel keeps jogging out there, clueless he's the pawn in this whole chaos.
If things fall apart, if you're 3-14 again, If you're in a situation where you're a top 5 pick again because of your record, yes, I think AB is gone. Stefanski, I think, is safe for another year, at least one more year after this, going to 20.
This ain't football anymore. It's turned into a straight-up ego showdown. On one side, Barry's ready to pull the trigger and fire his coach if that's what it takes to finally get his golden quarterback on the field. On the other, Stefanski is clinging to Gabriel like it's the last life raft on the Titanic. And caught in the middle sits Shador, the quarterback Cleveland wants, Cleveland needs, but somehow Cleveland still can't have. Not until somebody's head ends up rolling. The Browns aren't just fumbling a roster. They're putting on a live-action comedy special for the world to watch, one awkward snap at a time. And the longer this circus drags out, the closer it comes to blowing up in spectacular fashion. Let's be real. Barry isn't just threatening anymore, he's laying down promises. And when a GM makes promises, that's when people better start sweating. At this point, it's not even a debate. Anyone with working eyes can see Shador as the star in waiting. Meanwhile, Gabriel out there looks like he's auditioning for some off-Broadway play called Quarterbacking for Beginners. The fact this franchise still pretends these two belong in the same sentence, that's the biggest punchline in sports right now.
That trading down, not taking a generational player, which I'm guessing that was Travis Hunter.
Yes.
I think Book's still out on that. For a defensive tackle, when the team scored less than 16 points per game, makes me think they're safe because head coach and GM worried about job security would not do that. I agree. Do I think they're, no matter what happens,
that's where I'm at. Yes.
They're safe? No. I don't think it's based on wins and losses. It looks like, okay, they figured some things out this year. Another draft with 2 first-round draft picks. Like, we look more disciplined. We look more prepared. We look more put together, more cohesive. Then I think, okay, they're back, even if we only win.
Andrew Barry sure ain't laughing. Far from it. The man who put his name, his career, and his pride on drafting Shador is grinding his teeth down to dust every Sunday. This isn't just a GM wanting his pick to get some playtime. This is a full-blown obsession. Barry looks at Shador like a proud father at graduation, beaming, "That's my guy, my crown jewel, the one I brought in to finally make Cleveland more than a punchline." And yet Stefanski treats Shador like some collectible action figure. Nice to look at, but don't you dare take it out the box. Calling it a joke doesn't even do it justice. It's a circus, a fiasco, a flat-out embarrassment. And Barry, he's fed up with watching this clown show. Every shot of him up in the press box looks like he's 5 seconds away from diving through the glass to drag Gabriel off the field himself. This man didn't spend months scouting, negotiating, drafting, and hyping up his golden quarterback just to let Shador rot on the bench. Barry isn't just an admirer anymore. He's turned into an evangelist, ready to spread the gospel of Shador Sanders to anyone who'll listen, even if it means Stefanski has to lose his job for the message to be heard.
Never. There's no scenario to me where a coach and a GM are on the hot seat where that's going to be beneficial to the team in any way. And it's not. You could talk yourself into it. Well, they feel the pressure. Maybe they'll get the best out.
This isn't just admiration. It's straight conviction. Barry knew exactly what Shador could bring long before the fans started chanting his name. He watched the film, studied the mechanics, mapped out the future in his head. He wanted Shador in Cleveland for a reason, and it sure wasn't so the kid could stand on the sideline looking like an overqualified water boy with a headset. This was supposed to be the guy, the face of the franchise, the one who could finally make Cleveland more than the punchline it's been for decades. And every second he's not playing, Barry's blood pressure cranks up another level. The wild part? The fans are right there with him. It's rare to see the front office and the fan base moving in lockstep, but that's exactly where we're at. So when Gabriel jogs back out, looking like he's just happy his jersey stayed clean, the groan across the city could power the entire electric grid. And Barry? He's not just groaning, he's plotting, scheming, running through every possible way to strong-arm Stefanski into making the switch. Whispers in the media, tense behind-closed-doors meetings, and even the nuclear option, firing his head coach mid-season just to prove a point. Nothing's off the table when your golden boy is wasting away on the bench.
You address this sort of persistent narrative that you're trying to sabotage Shador Sanders, especially after yesterday and not putting him in for the 2-minute.
Yeah, obviously, I don't concern myself with outside type of things, but I'm committed to his development, just like all of our rookies. So we'll continue to focus on getting our guys better. And that's what we'll stick.
Let's be real. Barry ain't bluffing. The man didn't stake his whole GM reputation on Schroeder just to sit back while Stefanski plays Madden with Gabriel like this is some video game experiment. He brought Schroeder to Cleveland for a reason, and if Stefanski won't cooperate, he might as well start boxing up his office now. Because right now, instead of handing him the ball, they've got Shedeur parked behind Gabriel like it's some cruel practical joke. It's like starving at an all-you-can-eat buffet while the chef insists you fill up on dry crackers first. Barry's done waiting for crackers. He's ready for the main course, and his name is Shedeur Sanders. And the fans, they're starving for it too. Pounding tables, chanting, practically begging to be served already. Make no mistake, it ain't just the crowd anymore. The top man in the building is riding shotgun with them. And that spells nothing but disaster for anyone crazy enough to stand in the way. Stefanski thinks he's being clever, thinks he's making some bold coaching stand.
Stefanski's ego. We saw this with Baker Mayfield. Oh, it doesn't fit my system. Well, your system has to be about the players that are in it. And we've seen him do this because the offense was completely different when Dylan Gabriel was out there. It was a lot of, short, quick passes to get the ball in his hands, spread the formation, which is great. That's what you're supposed to do for a guy that thrives in that situation. So I don't know why for Shedeur the offense changed. He kind of wanted to curate something around him. But at the end of the day, Shedeur recognized he had to play better. That game looked a lot like that UCLA game his first year in Colorado. But I blame Stefanski for how he's handled this whole situation because it doesn't look very coach of the year leadership like.
In reality, Stefanski's just signing his own pink slip with every single Gabriel snap. And when the switch finally happens, when Shedeur takes that field, the stadium is going to explode louder than Cleveland's heard in decades. That moment will be Barry's vindication, the fans' redemption, and Stefanski's absolute worst nightmare. The second Shedeur launches that first deep ball and it connects for a touchdown, the entire debate ends right there. All the stubbornness, all the wasted games, all the drama, it'll all collapse under the weight of one perfect spiral. Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more wild NFL sagas.